Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on the bin that has the hamster bedding in it. So this is the material that's gone through my hamster cage with my son's hamster upstairs, and we're going to compost it now. I've said this before, but this is a special bin. I'm not mixing any food in here, so it's just the hamster bedding, whatever food was left over, and his excrement. And this is going to be used in only grass and plants such as trees in my yard. I'm not going to add this to anywhere where there be food. Wow, that was a loud zap from the bug zapper up there. So we're going to be more careful with this stuff. I also am using a separate glove that will be washed and sterilized just in case. This should be fine to use really in a garden, but I don't want to take that chance, and I'm not going to recommend that you do not either if you decide to do this. Now, with this, we're going to check the moisture content. We're going to see how the worms are doing inside. These, again, are the African night crawlers that we have in there. And then I think we're going to add some bubble wrap to the top to just sort of kind of hold that moisture in. It looks like it's a little dry, and I think that we need to start adding that in, especially as it gets a little bit more cool here. The humidity is already starting to drop. It's not ridiculously humid in my house at 60% humidity. It's down in the 50s and 40s now, and this is going to start drying out much more quickly. So with that, let's go and take a look and see how this is doing. And I think it's been, let me look down, 8:31, and today's the 13th of September, so 13 days since our last update, and we'll see how this is doing. So let's go take a look. All right, as you can see here, we have the 8:31 date on here. We're going to switch that out after this, and I'm going to put on my left glove instead of right glove this time to go through this. And let's just first take this out. One thing I do want to mention here, okay, let's just flip this over real quick. We see a little bit of moisture buildup on the bag. It looks like there might be some mites in here now. I'm trying to see if I see them on the bag here. I don't know if you can see them or not, but I see one right over here. It's crawling away from me. You can see one right there. I'm going to move this off to the side. Trying to figure out where to move it. It has a little bit of stuff built up on it, but that's okay. Now, the one thing I do want to say is that it looks like this is pretty dry, but it's not too bad. And overall, the worms are starting to work at this. We do have some large pieces of shavings in here. These might take a while to break down. Let me push this down just a little bit. There we go. That way it's more darker stuff in here. They are soft, but they are, it is something that I don't know how long these are going to take to really break down. I'm seeing a fruit fly right there, but I'm not seeing the fruit flies that we saw the first couple of times we looked into this. So I don't think it needs another treatment at this point. Moisture content does look pretty good. Worms, here's our first worm right here. Looks pretty healthy and big. It's moving around, looking for food even on my glove. And there's a pile of them here in the middle, it looks like. You can really see there's a couple of them in there. So they're looking for food. They're looking pretty good. They're moving around, although they aren't quite as active as maybe they should be. And maybe what let's just see here. They're spreading out slowly through the system here. So this is a good sign. They're moving around in here. They're separating. There is a lot of them in here. You can see there's even more here in the corner. They're going through all this material. We are seeing castings all through this now, which is good to see. But you can see, wow, look how long this one is. Oh my gosh. I'm always amazed by how big these worms are. I mean, I've had big night crawlers in the yard, but not this big in general, especially for composting worms. But you can see this material is starting to go. They're starting to break this down pretty well. It's still actually quite a bit more moist than I thought. I mean, we did dump a lot of water in here, so it should be sort of like that. But I'm always surprised. Here's this is a loofah chew toy that the hamster that was left in the bedding material. It looks like they haven't really touched this yet. But look at this. I mean, you can see all these worms in here. They're really, really voracious eaters. You can see that there's a lot of castings in here and a lot of discolorment to the original shavings, which were almost bleached white. So overall, this is looking pretty good to me. Probably could use a little bit of water. It's pretty dry. There's no moisture there's no water sitting in the bottom. So right here, there's no squeaky noise. Maybe slightly if I push a little harder. But there's not a lot of moisture down in there. So they probably could use a little bit more moisture in here. We're just kind of mixing this up. This is actually one of the chew toys for the hamster. This also got lost in the bedding. That will probably take forever to break down. We'll probably end up just putting that in the yard. But that's fine. No odor from this at all. It's looking pretty good. A little bit dry maybe, so we're going to add a little bit of water to this first. We're going to keep that plastic or the paper bag on top. Just give me a second here. Let me grab my spray canister. I finally refilled it after I sprayed out some of the bins yesterday. So we give this a couple of pumps here, and we're going to spray this down again. And just kind of give this just a little bit of water to wick away, especially on these sides and everything. And we're not putting a whole lot. I don't really want to add a whole lot of water. I don't want to saturate the bin. Just enough to make sure that the worms have some water to work with, because that's how they breathe. Again, no real odor from this. I was expecting, the first couple of times I took it off, there was a little bit of an odor, like a musty odor. This time I'm not really getting anything off of it, which is a good sign to me. It's something that I don't really want to have a whole lot of smell coming off this. Smell really bad. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this bag back on top, just how we had it before. And we'll see if they can also break down this bag at the same time as the other stuff, because we're going to throw this piece of plastic over the top to hold in a little bit of that moisture. I am still keeping my light over it, my bug zapper, and that has worked so far. It looks like, I didn't see the infiltration of fungus gnats or fruit flies that we saw before, and I think that the BTI mix that we added sort of helped that as well. So with that, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below and let me know, and we'll continue to monitor this. I'll update this date to the new date, and we'll continue to monitor this and see how this does. Thank you for watching.